Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that's still teaching this truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazaman from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another quick lesson. And Lord willing, today this lesson will be edifying. And this lesson is not going to be long at all, Lord willing. But for you so-called Negroes, you know, who are up in arms about Kamala Harris and, oh my gosh, she could be the first black woman president. All this madness, and, you know, nobody knows what the hell, you know, first she's Indian and then she claims that she's black. You know what I'm saying? All this madness going on about Kamala Harris. But don't forget what she said last year. I remember I did a lesson on this a year ago. You know, but don't forget this now. This is your president. This is your potential president, presidential elect candidate. You know, which, you know, I believe that, you know, I believe that Donald Trump, you know, I believe that Nero Trump is going to, you know, wipe the floor with her. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, these elites already have, you know, who they're going to be, who they're going to set up to be president and all that kind of other kind of madness. You know what I'm saying? But remember what she said last year about reducing the population. You see? And if she gets in office, which at the end of the day, whether she gets in office or whether Donald Trump gets in office, it's the will of the Lord and ultimately the will of Yahweh B'Shem Shai is gonna further prophecy at the end of the day. It's gonna further the mandatory implementation of the MOTB. You know, all these things are gonna be furthered on. Okay, when it's all said and done. All right. Now this says Harris mistakenly proposed reducing population during Green Agenda rant. Okay, let's read that again. Harris mistakenly proposed reducing population during Green Agenda rant. Now, with this whole Green Agenda, which let's actually do this. Let's actually just look up what a green, let's look up Green Agenda. Let's look that up real quick. Let's just go here. greenagenda.co.uk. What's the Green Agenda? All right, this isn't a good website. It's all good, but pretty much what the Green Agenda is, it pretty much goes in on the fact of CO2, you know, the whole CO2 footprint, you know, reducing carbon emissions. You know, that's what the whole Green Agenda is about. And they'll use climate, you know, they'll use a sea, you know, sea change, you know, they'll say all these different things. But realistically, it's furthering you into more of a, it's furthering you more into captivity in regards to things that you can buy, you know, consumption of meat, you know, the slaughtering of particular animals and things of that nature. And ultimately, this lines up with what BG said. You know, the real, the original No Limit soldier, that nigga that will go, the nigga BG that will go no limits, you know. B Gates, I would say that if y'all don't know who I'm talking about, he made the same assumption, you know. So as a matter of fact, let's do this. Bear with me. Man, I'm kind of nervous to even want to put this on here because they might try to flag they might try to flag my video. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at this. So CO2 equals people times services per person times energy per service times CO2 per unit energy. Now remember, he said to drop this number, we have to drop the people. He literally said that at a meeting, you know, and then you had him say that, and you had people over here cheering, and you know. Actually, I think this is it right here. It says, here's what I came up with. People going up, you see, people going up times S, which it says should go up, which is services. I want to say what's that? Service per person. E down some, which is energy, and then the C is carbon, and it says needs to be 0 CO2. Right? It says that might look complicated. It's not. It says on the right side. On the right side, you have the total amount of carbon dioxide, CO2, we put in the atmosphere. Because what? We breathe out carbon dioxide and we take in energy. Or I'm sorry, we take in oxygen. You see, and they have this whole agenda about cutting down the trees, and we need to reduce the amount of trees on the planet Earth. When the scriptures talk about how the trees are the life of men. Let me see if I can find some Deuteronomy. Right. Deuteronomy 20:19, it says, when thou shalt besiege a city a long time, in making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them. Now you have something that's very, very large here within the world, here in America and in various different parts of the world, called deforestation. You can look deforestation up yourself. Okay? It says, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege. You see, so the tree of the field is man's life, but you got this devil Esau that's hell bent on cutting down the trees. That's why the fir trees are going to rejoice whenever this devil goes down. It says because no feller, let's get that, because no feller has come up against him. Say Isaiah 14. Yep, Isaiah 14 verse 8. All right, Isaiah 14 verse 8. All right, let's actually start at verse 7, because when you read this, it's going into the fall of Esau. It's going to the fall of Babylon. Okay? Isaiah 14 verse 7, it says the whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. And that's what's going to happen whenever Esau falls, man. Okay, the whole earth is going to be at rest, because the whole earth right now it's in turmoil, man. Everything is dying, everybody's sick. The whole earth is out of whack. The seasons don't know the seasons don't know what to do, whether it be hot or be cold, or be too damn hot or be too damn cold. It says they break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee. Right? The fir, and this is talking about the actual fir trees. Hey, remember the scripture. Remember the scripture says in Romans 8 that the whole creation groaneth up until now. It says the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. And Lebanon is known for its beautiful trees, man. You see? So even the creation is going to rejoice whenever this devil falls, man. But this is what they want to do. So it says, I'm going to see if I can make this bigger, but I probably can't. Let's do it like this. Hold on. Yeah, let's look at it like this. Whoops. I don't know why it's not showing the full thing. Okay. It's all good. We'll just read it like this. I'll still be able to read it. So it says, this might look complicated. It's not. It says on the right side, you have the total number of carbon dioxide, CO2, we put in the atmosphere, right? We breathe out carbon dioxide. This is what we need to get to zero. This is what we need to get to zero. They need carbon dioxide. Mind you, just think about this. This is what they're saying. They need carbon dioxide to get to zero. Mind you, we breathe out carbon dioxide, right? It says it's based on the 4 factors on the left side of the equation. The world's population, P, multiplied by the services, which is S, used by each person, whether it be your car, whether it be, gas from factories and things of that nature, and, fumes and all these things of that nature, services used by each person, which is consumption of food, animals, right? It says the energy, E, needed to provide each of those services, whether it be oil, It says, and finally, the carbon dioxide produced by that energy. You see that? Why you think they doing all these why you think all these animals in these plants, these plants just go up in flames, and all a million number of this many chickens die, or this many cows are destroyed here, because this is what they want. And with this CO2 going down, that goes into what? Population deduction. Okay? Population deduction. Now, going back to this article, it says Harris mistakenly proposed reducing population during green agenda rant. Right? It says last year, Vice President Kamala Harris, who's now the Democrat presidential candidate, appears to suggest reducing the world's population in order to save the planet. You see, they all in cahoots. You see, they all are in cahoots, and they all agree on the same agenda when it's all said and done. Whether or not it's Kamala Harris, or whether or not it's Donald Trump, they all are just puppets in the grand scheme of things, working for a higher for the powers that be. Okay, it says Harris pledged to reduce population instead of pollution during a climate speech. Gaffey, if I'm saying that correctly. It says, speaking at the Copen State University in Baltimore, Maryland, she said, think about the impact on something like public health. When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles, which that's another thing, is that, they only want electric vehicles. They don't want gas powered vehicles. They want electric vehicles. So, and even with these electric vehicles, now with them being electric, they really want it in a stance of control. You see, because even with these electric vehicles now, with the lane assist and how they got a camera in the front, like my vehicle has that. I can put the car on cruise control, and the steering wheel will keep me in the lane by itself. I don't even got to hold the steering wheel. But with that all being said, that's all in a sense of control, because even when this new system goes online, you ain't gonna be able to drive these cars unless you in line with the system. It says when we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water. And this is literally what she said. Let's take a listen. Fair use. I'm going to put the fair use in the beginning. Okay? But let's take a listen.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
And you had people clapping. Like, she literally told you she literally told you the plans on reducing population. Like, listen to it again. Like, listen to the madness of this and how it doesn't even make sense.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
How you gonna reduce the population and have more children? How is that gonna take place? But once again, you bonehead, big head ass niggas out here that want to vote for Kamala Harris, and she's the next one up. And then her vice president is a goddamn complete jackass. You know what I'm saying? Dude is nasty as hell. He pretty much passed a law to allow pedophiles, okay, to pretty much be made safe in Minnesota and put them underneath the banner of the whole alphabet, the LGBTQA plus agenda. And then also he was he has his fake stolen valor with him. And it also came out in college that he drank horse semen, man. A complete freak. But the Democrats always are into this whole nasty freakism agenda, man. It says Harris's apparent embrace of the popular anti-human talking point, frequently promoted by globalist eugenicist, which B. Gates, a BG. I'll just say that B. Gates is definitely a eugenist. Okay, all these people are really eugenists, man. Remember what they want to do with the Georgia Guidestones. Okay, they want to reduce. It said that they want to reduce population down to 500 million. Okay, it says it is returning to haunt her as she takes the reins of the Democrat Party from Joe Biden. You see, that's where it's at right now, man. Following the startling admission, a White House transcript edited her remarks to reflect that she meant to say pollution, which, come on now. And what does the scripture say? The scripture says that what? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, It says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his schemes. We understand and know what these devils got coming down the line and what they truly want to do. You see, we understand and we have a great idea through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai of what they want to do. Okay, to usher in their their new WO. Okay. I says, are you the population she wants to reduce? You know? Let's see. Reduce population for the children. Puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? Right? The Freudian slip. What's Freudian slip? Yikes. And this is July 14, 2023. Right? Yikes. Kamala Harris pledges us to reduce population instead of pollution in climate speech. Right? The Freudian slip. Okay? The Freudian slip reveals a startling glimpse into one of the most diabolical agendas of the globalist technocrats who disguise their quote-unquote pro-choice efforts with that whole pro-choice. What that aligns with is the whole 187 on children agenda. You know, Plan P Hood, you know, my body, my choice, and then the whole transhumanism, you know, changing of kind, and you know all that madness, man. Which the Democrats push. They're behind all that. It says who disguise their pro-choice efforts promoting. You see there the 187s and birth control alongside their clean energy push as altruistic. What's that mean? Altruistic, showing a selfless concern for the well-being of others, showing a selfless, right, concern for the well-being of others without care for one's own interest. Unselfish. You see, it's without care of one's own interest, but it's an unselfish approach. You see, but that's that two horns like a lamb, but they speak as a dragon. They'll give you that whole pro-choice, and it's about you. You know, it's unselfish. You have your own right and you have your own liberty to do, to do whatever you want. And that's that whole do as thou wilt energy. You see? But don't forget, for you big head ass niggas out here that want to go with, that want to say, she could be the first black woman president, the first woman, and she's black. And she's not. She's a heathen. Let's hear it one more time.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
See that? And they'll say, oh, she meant to say pollution. All right. We understand and know what it is. Okay? So, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Chakwadash. Once again, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and that's what teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, Lord willing, I say shalom.